Welcome to another episode of Eclectic Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about WandaVision episode 3 and 4. Yeah, I know they're combined. I just felt like I wanted to do them together this time, so I waited for episode 4 to come out. But before I get into the review, why don't you give my channel a subscribe, give this video a like, so we can get more videos like this. I'm going to be reviewing Once Upon a Time as well, and going to be going over reviewing Stranger Things as well. So we're going to have a whole series of reviews while we're doing WandaVision as well, and we're going to be also continuing our with the sort of top fours as well, which is also be found on this channel. So episode 3, I think, is Into Color. Episode 4, we not interrupt this episode. What can I say? Ooh wee! Man, I really love this show. As you know from the last video, I'm a big fan of Wanda from the MCU, and I've been doing a little bit of reading in the comic books as well, just to get a better understanding of who she is and how she acts and what she's done in previous storylines in the comics. For me, this show has been so different. It has kind of broke the mold of what people would consider a MCU TV show or movie. And I love it. It's so different, and I know a lot of traditionalists, Marvel traditionalists or MCU traditionalists, be like, oh, this show is too slow, it's too horrible. I love it. I get good laughs out of it. I see all the Easter eggs in it, and it just lets me know and kind of gets inside of the head of the characters, and there's a lot of potential character development that's happening throughout this show, even though it's between 28 and 36 minutes. And so let's start with episode 3. In episode 3, remember, they went to color, and all of a sudden Wanda was pregnant. And when this started, they were discussing it like, oh, I'm pregnant, and trying to calculate when the babies would be born. And according to Vision, the baby's going to be born within days. And so this episode basically concentrated on WandaVision and Monica. And in the episode, every time Wanda got a contraction, something magical will happen, which is a very interesting way to put that. And then as they continue to try to hide how she was pregnant so fast and how the babies were growing so fast, there's a lot of hijinks going on, pretty much like an episode of maybe Bewitched or any other kind of 70s show. It was kind of felt like it was based in the 70s. But there were so many little things going on in episode 3. And the doctor was acting like they couldn't get out of town. So that was one thing you can start really thinking about. Vision was really starting to question what was going on in the town. And as Monica went in there to help Wanda went into labor. Yes, she actually had twins on the show. And when she had those twins, which Monica helped deliver one of them, and Vision came back and delivered the second one. And in general, I know the twins were somewhere in the Marvel Universe before. I don't have a lot of knowledge of who they are, just a little bit of who they could possibly be. If they're actually real or not, that's what we're going to try to find out. But the main crux of this episode was really starting to seem like Wanda was trying to make it like she wanted it to be, and but it was hard to see. She actually noticed the sword necklace that Monica had on, because Monica made a slip and was like, "Hey," right after Wanda was singing a song from her native language. She's like, "Hey, yeah, that's how your brother died by Ultron." Now, people went a little nuts when that happened, by the way. But it was a very nice touch at the end of the episode. And so Wanda got really upset, like, "Wait, who are you? How you know that? Why are you asking those questions?" And the next thing you know, Monica's gone. Vision comes in, and she's like, "Oh, she left. It's all good." And as a person watching, you're like, "Man, why? What happened to her? Did she just? Did she push her out? Did she kill her? What's going on? I know that ain't happening. It's so weird. What's happening? Or is it all in her mind?" And then seconds later, Monica fell outside of the town. And of course, the Army, Air Force, or whoever, SWORD, whoever, is sitting outside waiting on her. And so that episode was so great. It was so funny. It introduced people to make people think. And what's really funny about it, after watching the episode, guess what Disney Plus decided to put on there to say, this is the next thing that you can watch. Actually, Age of Ultron. Ain't that funny? Avengers Age of Ultron, I'm sorry. Simply because, they were talking about Wanda's brother, Quicksilver. But that's how episode 3 ended. And I remember my wife saying, "Oh my God, we gotta wait another week." And I was like, "Man, look, week to week is the smartest thing that Disney could have ever done, because every week, WandaVision is gonna rule social media and people talking about it every week, every Friday, just like it did with Mandalorian, which I haven't seen, by the way, but it would fill up my timelines just from people saying Mandalorian. And of course I had to scroll through it because, hey, I didn't know what they're talking about, but they were talking about it. And frankly, I kind of like the week to week. I'm not really a binge watching person, but my wife is, and that's all good. But I'm enjoying the week to week, and on the edge of your seat, having to wait next week. Now, episode 4. We now interrupt this program. When episode 4 dropped, and while I was watching it, not even 2 minutes in, all I could think was, "Oh, here come the Marvel casuals, here come the traditionalists, here come the MCU fans," because they wouldn't really enjoy the first 3 episodes as much as I did, as much as how I thought it was pretty funny, actually, how they put all these Easter eggs in there, and how you were trying to figure out what was going on with Wanda and what was going on with the town itself. Episode 4 basically showed you what was going on outside of Westview, which is the town that they're in. It started off with right after Hulk snapped from Endgame. Remember when Hulk snapped, that's when everybody that had got snapped away in Infinity War came back 5 years later. So it started there with Monica waking up in a hospital bed after being regenerated from wherever they got snapped from. She wakes up looking for her mother, trying to figure out what's going on. Come to find out, her mother didn't snap away, and her mother had passed away, which was what a sad way to wake up to. But Monica worked for this organization called SWORD, which it was inferred that her mother was the director of, and maybe a founding member of. They didn't really say, but I know she was the director of SWORD when she went away, when she dusted with. So Monica's mom was over it, which is really, really, really interesting. And so when she came back, this other guy was running SWORD at the time, and they kind of changed all these things. And they told her, hey, we got this incident that I need you to go look at on the ground. And so when she went, Agent Wu was there, and guess what? He learned how to do that card trick from Ant-Man. I wonder if Ant-Man taught him or he taught himself. That's very interesting to try to figure out. But you get there, and man, just seeing the portal and talking to the police that were supposed to be in Westview, saying that they were in Eastview and that nothing was going on and nobody knew anything. And as Monica went to touch it, she got swooped into the town just out of nowhere. And now all of a sudden, FBI, SWORD, everybody is in that town. Outside the town, I'm sorry. But all that's going on, then they brought in all these people trying to figure out what's going on. Come to find out, the assistant from Thor was brought in. So she actually found the frequency that I'm guessing Wanda was using, or whoever was using to create the scenes in there. And she was actually the person that we were seeing watching the show. In that scene in episode 2, I believe, when they were asking Wanda, who's doing that to you? That was like Agent Wu going through there and using something that she created. Man, what is her name? Man, I'm drawing a blank right now about her name. But those two were very good together on screen, by the way. And the young lady playing Monica Rambeau was excellent, has been excellent through the series so far. You know, black girl magic for sure. But through that whole scene, they were just trying to figure out what's going on. So through watching the show, they started realizing that these were people that were theoretically missing but had different names in the town from what they could see. And so they went back to the drone was actually from them that she had found. And the beekeeper that came in really wasn't a beekeeper. He was coming in just to, you know, he had on a suit to stay safe. But when he crossed through from the underground, when he crossed past the line, it turned into a beekeeper suit. And the rope that was attached to him came back as a jump rope, if that makes sense. And so when he came out, that's when she said no, and we don't even know what happened to him after that. But the crazy part about it is they let you see what actually happened at the end of episode 3, which was very, very interesting. Where Monica and Wanda were having that back and forth with, hey, who are you? I'm your friend. It's like, no, you're not. Wanda actually used her powers and I wouldn't say kicked her out, but blasted her out the town. So much so that it broke through walls and windows and fences and everything. And so before anybody came back in the house, she put it back together. And Monica went outside, and the last thing she said was, "It's Wanda." Now, what do I think about the show as a whole? Just like last video, love it. I love the direction. I love how each episode is building on the next. I love the character development. I love what's happening. Just like last video, just like the first 2 episodes, I feel like they're going down a path where, how can I put this? Wanda is actually going to become, I don't want to call her evil, but she's going to become a pseudo villain once this is said and done. I may be wrong, but I feel like this is the direction they're going with this show. And Wanda got actually semi-snapped into reality a couple times in that episode. And I just feel like she's manipulating, but I'm trying to figure out if she's actually doing the manipulating or if somebody else is helping her to manipulate. But from a general standpoint, she actually saw Vision with the thing pulled out. And so this is so great. So for the next Friday, we're going to be into episode 5. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to wait for 2 episodes again or if I'm going to just do another video per episode on this. I just was trying to do 2 since they were 30 minutes each instead of an hour. But we'll see. I might just start doing 1 episodes with WandaVision. And overall, I would suggest people go see it. If you haven't started the series, go watch it. If you're a Marvel fan, if you're a comic book fan, if you like the movies, if you like the MCU, even if you like DC, it doesn't matter. If you're just into that type of stuff, just go watch it. It's very interesting, a good character development, and so much fun, so interesting, and it's going in places that I don't think nobody is going to be able to really predict. You know, there are people that have all this is what's going to happen. Frankly, I don't want to hear that. I just want to watch the show, enjoy it, and be shocked, just like I was at the beginning of this episode and at the end of this episode, of episode 4. And so that's what I want to be. And I will talk a little bit about what I think. Like I said, I think we're going into a nice area right now. We're trying to develop, I don't know, it feels like they're developing how tragic Wanda's life is. How she lost her brother. That she, lost her parents. Lost her brother. Lost Vision, which is the only person she loved. And through all of that, after getting snapped back, what is she going to do? After Endgame, what is she going to do? How is she feeling? What's mentally going on with her? But I have a little concerns because I know a lot of people don't like overpowered characters, like I said. And I just want to see where they're going with it. It seems like it's emotional, but also fun and interesting. So that's my eclectic review of WandaVision episodes 3 and 4. Again, if you have Disney Plus, I would suggest go watch it. If you like this video, just give us a subscribe. Give us a like. Become one of our eclectic subscribers. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm under Blurred Eclectic. I'm on Instagram under _eclectic_blurred. The show is actually under the YouTube channel. Is actually under Facebook under What the Soul on Facebook. And if you want to see what type of merch that we have here, you can go to eclecticblurredshop.weebly.com. Just type that in there. Without the www. Just type in eclecticblurredshop.weebly.com. Thank y'all again for coming. I can't wait for the next episode, and I can't wait to start doing more reviews for you. Like I said, I'm going to be going over Once Upon a Time Season 1 very soon, and we're going to be doing Stranger Things Season 1. I can't wait. Until next time, I'm out.